to a brew video. Welcome into a video about making beer. I know what you're thinking. What is this? Let me explain. I'm gonna make a starter. I'm gonna make a starter with 3 bottles of wild yeast that I captured over the course of 3 years. The first time I captured it was on, looks like this says January 20th, 2018. At least that's when I bottled it. I probably captured it earlier that year in spring. I have another one here, no date, it says 3/18. And then I have another one here, it says wild number 2. I'll link the description below of all the wild yeast I've captured if anyone's curious to see how I did that. These I kept. I'm pretty sure that those were the good ones, and they're all different. I'm gonna take the dregs of that and make a starter with it. Let's just run through that really quickly. Starter is made. Let's add these dregs. All right, let's go a couple days from now and see how it looks, and that will be a day before I actually go to use this to brew with, and go from there. I'm not getting any fermentation. This is day 3 or 2, day two of actual attempting to do this. I was gonna try and maybe brew today. I'm gonna add a little more dregs to this. I have 1 more bottle of my wild sour. I'm gonna pour some of this out into a smaller container. I think I just maybe had too much wort to do a starter with, and I'm gonna warm it up to like 90 degrees, and hopefully in like 5 hours when I go to brew this, we'll be good to go. Let's go there now. I have to brew right now. It's the schedule I'm on. I gotta get it done. I'm gonna try and use this anyway. I think the mistake I made is I just used too much wort. I should have used something this small to begin with and put all my bottle dregs into something this small or even halfway up. But I didn't. And here we are. What I am trying to do for this beer is make an IPA with using just wild captured yeast. I've done it before. That's the dregs I use, the bottle dregs. And those dregs are often lactobacillus, or a lot of it is, I would imagine. And all the beers I've made with using wild yeast have been sour, all of them. And I don't think I've really pushed the IBUs up above 30 to really see if I can inhibit lactobacillus and just get the Saccharomyces I'm looking for. I want to try and eliminate the lactobacillus part and see if I can capture just the Saccharomyces part. And I'm going to brew a really hoppy beer for that, an IPA. I just want to see if I could do this. The hops for this are Chinook, Citra, Mosaic mostly, and I do have some Amarillo as well that I'll be dry hopping with. But Chinook is like the bittering, and then it's all late addition with the rest of them. 2-row, I'm going to throw a little bit of DME in there for fun, like 2 ounces for my 2-gallon batch, just to see, which is like 2%. Just want to see, just a little body maybe. You know, I haven't really played with it before, just for fun. Okay, let's do this.
Paresseuse, par essence elle est paresseuse. Est-ce vraiment la paresse? Trop de quoi ou qu'est-ce?
I'm gonna use a hop spider this time. Last couple times I got really bad clogging issues. Highly recommend using something like this. Even with like very small amount of hops. I think I had like half an ounce of hops, I still got clogged. So I'm gonna use that. Chinook for about 45 IBUs or so. And in it went. Well, that was exciting. Well, let me explain. Let me explain what happened here. First, I filmed with my iPhone 13 Pro. That's all I shoot with anymore, which has been going great and could have been better than even my Canon T6S, because I can shoot in 4K. The picture looks great, but that's what dropped in the boiler. the boiling wort was my cell phone. And it was on this little like selfie stick thing that I could use to talk with. And I guess it wasn't screwed on very well and just spun off right in there. Along with that was the mic that I have attached to it. I don't know if it even works. In an effort to save the phone without thinking like an idiot, I reached my hand in there. I do have a little burn. Not a big deal though. It is a little burn though, and it hurts a little bit. It hurts a little bit. Well, let me show you. You can see right there. The one that hurts the most is my middle finger. Right there in particular. That's the most painful spot. Good news is I'm still using my cell phone. I pulled it out by the little windsock that was on the microphone, and it's only in there maybe for like 5-6 seconds. And it works. I don't know if the microphone works. I have no idea. I'll have to test that later. I'm just gonna go with what's on the phone. Hopefully the audio here works. I don't even know, but I think it is. I played it back and it's sounding all right. I did finish the brew day. And look at it. It's done. It's done. I did not know my gravity reading before or after. I'll take one right now. We'll just see what it looks like. Well, thankfully I saved a little bit of wort right before I dropped my phone in there trying to show my first edition of hops. And it's showing at 10:57. That sounds like about on track. Maybe a little high. But let's see what the finished gravity is. I'll take that now. Let's see what this is. 1063. That is on target. I was going for 1065. So at least I hit the numbers, I guess. I'm also not 100% sure I hit my timing for my hops. Because I put my first edition in, dropped my phone in, and was just messing with that and trying to heal my hand for probably 10 to 15 minutes. Realized, oh crap, the hops have been in there for 10 to 15 minutes. Guessed, and then guessed on the rest of my additions. So that's fun. That's fun. Well, this never took off. So I don't know. I did my best. Let's see what happens. The other one I just have verdant yeast for, so. I knew it. Nothing yet. The fermentation hasn't kicked off yet for the wild yeast one. It's all right though. We'll give it another day. Wild yeast? Regular yeast. Harvested in a controlled environment, I would imagine. Well, some activity is happening. I don't know what's in there. Hopefully it's the yeast that I captured originally. Well, let's monitor it over the next couple days and see what it looks like. I've been giving it periodic shakes over the last day or two just to kind of try and really get it going. And something's happening, that's for sure. So I'm gonna add some dry hops to each one of them. Probably, I think a 1/4 ounce in each one. I haven't decided which one yet. I'll probably do like Mosaic and Citra, or maybe just some Citra. Well, it looks like I'm out of Citra, so let's just do some Amarillo and maybe, let's see, Mosaic. And then I'm gonna keg from there. So let's see how this finished out. I might even take a gravity reading for the wild fermentation one, just to see. Well, we have fermentation completed, it looks like, and a pellicle is formed. So therefore, there was something contaminated that got in there. And by contaminated, I mean something I captured from the wild yeast, from the air, years ago, through all the bottles. And it clearly is not mostly lactobacillus. And there's obviously other stuff going on in there, because there's so many IBUs in there. Unless lactobacillus push through like 50 IBUs or 60 IBUs. I'm not 100% sure that what was in here was what I put in there for my starter. Because it took like 3 days to take off. Maybe it was just random contamination. I might just bottle like 2 bottles of it, 3 bottles, and kind of see what it does over the course of a couple weeks. See if something mellows or if it tweaks or changes a little bit. But I don't know that I can use this yeast as it stands right now. Let's go to the next step. The beer is bottled. I do have a murky gravity reading here. maybe there was a lot of lactobacillus in there that just couldn't get through it, and the yeast was already struggling, that was alive and could be used, and it just wasn't enough. That being said, let's go to the tasting. Before we begin, by the way, my finger totally healed. I had a couple little scab things that just fell off on his finger, and right here got a little red for a day or two, and then it just all went away. So in the end, no harm, no foul. My phone still works. That's what I'm using right now. My microphone, however, is fried. It does not work. But hey, the phone's more important. This is the kegged IPA, regular straight up yeast. This is the wild IPA bottled. I'm gonna open it now. As you saw, this could be like 3% or less alcohol. But let's see. Let's give it a go. It's actually pretty good carbonation. Whoa. Obviously it wasn't done yet. I did not expect that much carbonation for such a small percent, or what seemed like a small percent of change when it came to the fermentation. But it's like a really cloudy, orangey, it looks like orange juice. Like you can't even see through that at all. This one's pretty cloudy too, but not quite as juicy. This has been in the keg for almost 3 weeks now, probably. I really let this one sit. I really wanted to let it mature. I sometimes rush these things a little bit, and I want to let this kind of age a little bit. So I think IPAs hit their stride a little later than I would think they would, because hops fade so fast. I think from brew day with dry hopping to tasting, I think about 5 weeks to 6 weeks is like the sweet spot. All right, let's give it the regular one a try first. It smells great. Kind of danky in the smell, but like good sort of hop dank, like resiny. Beautiful tropical fruit coming out of that. Really nice, pungent, fresh tropical fruit smell. Really nice bitter balance to that. Soft, with a little bite to it though still. It has sort of a hazy taste to it without that like juice. It's very quenchable. Almost like a smoothie with bitterness without the sweetness. It's really nice. One of the better IPAs I made in a while, actually. All right, let's taste the wild IPA. It smells kind of cool though. Like it smells like a really nice Brett forward, nice hoppy Brett forward smell to it. Like a little, definitely some of that horse blankety funk going on, but it kind of pairs nicely with the hops. It smells great. The taste, let's go for it. It's very juicy. It's really stringently bitter. That's the knock I'd give it. It's also very sweet. So I think the concept was there. I just didn't ferment very well. And I wonder if, because I had so much, this is the theory, there was a lot of lactobacillus in it. I had a really hard time getting the starter going. And because of that, I think there just wasn't that much actual yeast in there. I think it was pure majority lactobacillus. Again, it's totally a guess. I almost wonder if I should have just kept cultivating the starter for like 2 months and just introduced hops into it slowly and kind of massaged it a little bit and got it to a point where I could use it. Or I gotta try it all over again from scratch. It's not quite drinkable. It almost is. There's almost a lemony thing there at the end. It's kind of very slushy, juicy. Like this is good and it tastes like a great IPA. This, if you froze it, could actually be really good if you eliminated the bitterness a little bit. It would taste a lot like a smoothie. I'm happy that I got as much as I did out of that because it was looking grim for a while. And then the brew day was a disaster. The fact that I actually got something I can actually drink is pretty cool. All right, well, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.